carving a niche. Why do you need to carve a niche? Why do you need to go after certain clients and avoid others?
Okay, well, when you're looking at customers, it'll pay to, number one, make sure that the customer that you're approaching is a profitable one. That's, kind of the reason that I would
That
think
makes
would
sense, doesn't
make
it?
sense, but not everyone does that. They think, okay, I've got myself, my cleaning kit, I've got my business cards, website, whatever. So now I need to go after everyone. So everyone with a heartbeat is now a potential customer. And the reality is, when you're looking at this business, there's a lot of different type of customers that you can go for. But when you're starting off, we're going to show you what we've identified as probably the easiest way and most efficient way to come into this industry and build a successful business without a lot of capital, right? And also without a lot of expertise in the way of cleaning as well. So we're going to target a niche that's going to allow you to get a good footing in this industry, and then you can gain experience, over the years. So that's why you carve a niche. Not everybody is your customer, nor they should be. So once you've carved a niche now, you need to actually say, well, what does my customer look like? And that's what we're going to be talking about. What does this niche look like, which is easy to come into? You don't need a lot of, expertise, and they're definitely a nice little profitable customer for you to start with.
Yeah, I think the first thing to do is to talk about why certain customers are going to be profitable and why others are not. So if you really think about you have to start thinking about things from the point of view of the client. So if you've got a business, for instance, and you're employing 20 people and you're in, say, professional services of some kind, you might be in insurance or in engineering or own a legal business, you're not going to have a big cleaning bill, but cleaning is still going to matter, particularly if you've got clients coming in through the door, or you want to make sure that you have a clean, hygienic environment for your staff. So it does matter about the appearances. The cleaning matters, but the cleaning bill's probably only going to be about $20,000 to $30,000 a year. That's all they're going to be spending. Whereas their wage bill is going to be in the millions potentially. So if you look at it from that point of view, realize that there's some flexibility with their budget, but cleaning still matters. If you're going to go on a bit of a deeper level, you could think of it as if you have, for instance, you got a P&L sheet, so profit and loss statement. There's often a summary for most businesses. And in that profit and loss summary, there's certain line items. So after you look at the revenue and the gross profit that is made from that revenue, you start looking at overhead expenses for a business. Cleaning is going to be down the bottom there. It's going to be one of the overhead expenses. What you don't want it to be is a large line item, so a large expense item for that business. You want it to be inside maybe another expense item. So if it's in a P&L summary sheet, you want it maybe inside office expenses. So even though there's good profit for you as a cleaning business owner having that client, it doesn't cost that business a lot of money. And that's really your ideal client base when you're just getting started. And you mentioned expertise. You don't want to be going after, complicated cleans that involve machinery,
stripping and sealing,
stripping and
like
sealing, all that kind of stuff. It's not really something you want to get stuck into when you first get started. That's an opportunity for later down the road. But I tell you what, there's plenty of money to be made just cleaning standard offices with desks, carpets, bathrooms, you name it. There's plenty there for everybody.
Absolutely. So what we're really saying in this video is you don't try to go after every customer, because you're going to find it difficult to communicate them too, because the learning curve trying to go after everybody is going to be too great. Just come into this little niche that we're talking about, offices and little medical clinics and logistics and any of that kind of industry where obviously cleaning's not a big expense. That's what we're talking about. It's not its own item on the expense list. It doesn't say cleaning. It basically just says office expenses and it's in there. So you're not going to have to ask for their P&L to recognise those businesses. We're talking about small to medium-sized businesses that require cleaning. It is important, but it's not going to cost them the earth. So they value the outcomes only, and they're not worried about spending the money. Guess what happens then? They have flexibility, and if you deliver well and you give them the value they want, they're actually going to spend more.
Yeah, that's right. And I would probably just add this one point to what you just said, is that even though we may be dealing with small, medium-sized offices or areas that we clean, some of these companies are very large.
Oh, definitely.
And so they're looking for someone who's going to deliver on great outcomes, but their cleaning requirements aren't big.
No,
so,
well,
yeah.
we're talking about, in this niche that we're talking about, you can go from $90 a month for like once a week clean for a very small office, but we also do things around this niche up to about $8,000 or even $10,000 actually. And then when you go over that, you're starting to get into some bigger players and bigger people. But there's no reason that you can't pick up monthly accounts in all of that range. So yeah, and keep them, right? And we're going to show you how to do that too, how to keep these customers, win them and keep them.
Absolutely. So in the next video, I'm going to share with you how I got started in this business and how I started getting traction very quickly just by implementing a few processes, as well as identifying what I saw as the 6 big gaps in the industry and the niche that I was going after. So see you in the next video. I'll share with you some of my story. It's going to be not too long. It's going to be pretty quick.
It's a good story. Don't
yeah.
worry about it. It'll be fine. And make sure you subscribe too, because not only are we doing this series of videos, we've got plenty of videos coming after as well on lots of stuff that we've learned along the year. So we're just getting started. Hope you're enjoying it.
I'll see you in the next video.